as we are diving straight into the University of Washington versus Virginia Tech.
All right, thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks so much, Fred. Great job, bud. Great job this year. Here we go. Game start.
VT
All
versus
right.
UW, a massive Titan match we got going here. Immediately out the gate, we already got Blue Standard 3 taking a bunch of shots at Red Standard 3, both employing the spin-to-win tactic of being able to spin and evade damage from moving those
The
armor
Huskies
plates.
versus the Hokies. We've got Virginia Tech in the blue and UW in the red. All of the robots seem to be online, as we'd expect from these awesome teams. And it's University of Washington that strikes first, getting a kill across the board. Oh my goodness, the University of Washington strikes hard. They get a double kill, it looks like, almost.
Very close on that Blue Standard 3's help.
Blue Standard 3 is so little. There it is, double kill.
That is going
And
to give a
now,
distinct level advantage.
the University of Washington moving straight onto that blue sentry. Wow. Early game strong from this University of Washington team, coming off that momentum of their big win against Texas A&M.
They are going to be able to have a very distinct level advantage, which is going to be a little bit hard for VT to be able to recover from, as both VT's robots are now very low health as they both just got revived. That hero shot knocking off the red or the blue hero, that red hero just absolutely taking a
University of Washington gets another kill onto Blue Standard 3 and has another chunk of time to take free fire at the blue sentry. Wow, look at that standard go. You're getting a great view here of just how well it's doing. You can see that the sentry here for Virginia Tech moving a lot slower than the NYU Poly sentry. That's so it can do scanning for that computer vision because it needs to shoot. Hopefully it'll lock onto these robots and start firing soon. They need something to change to turn the tide of this first match.
That sentry being at half health puts the red team, UW, in the lead by a substantial amount, because half health on a sentry, considering both sentries are armed and dangerous, that is going to be a pretty big threat to be able to overcome and have to go attack the enemy sentry.
There we go, guys. Vote in the chat. Use your channel points. Who do you think is going to win? Don't tell me for this round. Tell me for the match. It's a best of 3. There's still plenty of time.
Kill.
Oh my goodness, an absolute slaughterfest in this early game. I think that's 5 or 6 kills coming across onto the UW side so quickly. They're doing an excellent job, and now continuing to chunk away at this sentry. University of Washington really just putting on a clinic here in this first match.
Looking at how well designed and how good looking both robots on both teams
are. All right,
are.
Virginia Tech hero back online, taking some shots. Oh, he lands a hit. Looks like, yeah, it did. Look at that standard 3 health. So low. If he can land one more, that standard will be down. Standard 3 waiting for his hero to get out of the way so we can go back to the healing plate and revive his health. Blue hero 1 waiting. Just sitting there waiting for that standard to leave.
Here we got
tens.
Point of view of a reviving robot as it's about to come back online.
All right, Blue Hero 1 has revived and is still right here in line for that blue stand from that red standard. We're in the cockpit of Blue Hero 1. He's shooting. Ooh. He's getting some hits. He needs to hit a second one. Oh my goodness!
Like he died from that barrel overheat because that low-level hero.
Red standard 3 now continuing to take a ton of shots at the blue sentry.
That sentry's health falling back.
Oh, there goes the sentry. University of Washington now is going to have free range in that base of Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech needing to be able to recoup, get their health back, and be able to fight defensively as UW is just marching into the base with that hero pounding away at that base, doing tons of damage.
They're starting to have golf ball hits. Here comes the large amounts of damage from that siege engine of a hero. The Huskies have devoured the Hokies in match 1.
Looks like that base is about half health, leaving UW in a very good spot against VT. Minute 15
Red
left.
Standard 3 has no fear from the University of Washington, sitting here, and as soon as these robots revive around it, very good map awareness from him to understand that they're there and not die.
Looks like he's going to take a substantial amount of damage. Will he be able to get out of this situation alive? Well, that robot of the Blue Standard 3 having very little health, it looks like he will be. Each time one of these robots dies, it adds 5 seconds onto the timer of that revive. So it is very costly if you die a whole bunch in a bunch of bad situations.
That's right. Those death timers getting longer and longer for Virginia Tech. With only 50 seconds left in the match and only 300 health left on Virginia Tech's base, this very well could be another base kill. This is what we love to see, these full matches here in the quarterfinals as we're getting ready for the semis and the finals tomorrow. These are those full games that we love to see. Here we go.
We got 30 seconds left. It's going to take a whole lot for VT to be able to come back from
Virginia Tech doing a nice job here of trying to defend that last little 390 health that they've got. Their blue hero lobbing some golf ball shots towards the refill station of the University of Washington, kind of keeping them scared off. And it looks like the University of Washington will just let the timer tick down as we close out the next match in our quarterfinals. It goes over to the University of Washington.
University of Washington now only needs to win one more to be able to proceed to the semifinals or the finals tomorrow. It will be the finals actually tomorrow. The loser of this match will play against Texas A&M tomorrow for the chance at the finals, which is going to be the victor of this round. So we could end up seeing a rematch of this tomorrow. We could end up seeing Texas A&M face off against one of these teams, and we will see them face off against one of them. It could be both of them. Who knows? That was a whole lot of action.
That was action-packed, Matt. That was the fastest 5 minutes of casting we've ever done.
Look how many golf balls there are all over the field. Both heroes doing a ton of damage to each other. I cannot wait to see this stat screen whenever we go to the end of this matchup. It is going to be very incredible to see the massive amount of damage. Only 400 damage off of a base kill, but VT not letting them get that base kill. They're saying, no way, we're going to still stay here. We're going to defend it. We're going to body block with everything we have. We're fighting tooth and nail. What does VT need to do to change that?
Well, Matt, I'll tell you, as an audience member right now, I want Virginia Tech to take it back. I want to see that third round. These teams are pretty evenly matched. I hope their sentry can start firing. Thing number one, we need that sentry defense. We know it's capable of it. We've seen it get kills today. We need it to start locking onto those red robots and taking shots. I'm not sure what the issue is that they're having, but that needs to get fixed. In addition, they have got to take out that UW standard. The UW standard doing the majority of the work the entire match, and then that hero playing that strategy that you've illustrated and you've talked about throughout the weekend, where the hero is the battering ram. It didn't really shoot the robots. It waited until the sentry had taken out the others until it came in and could just melt the base.
Whenever it actually had some decently lined up shots, it actually did some substantial damage. Those shots each do 100 health on the robots. That is a huge amount of health. Health in this is extremely hard to recover. There are still so many projectiles on the arena as this next match is about to start up. We have 15 seconds left in the phase of the cleanup and re-preparation for this next match.
And it looks like both teams have already cleared the field. No technical issues or difficulties that they're going to try to fix during a technical timeout. They're going to save those for their semi and final rounds as they dive straight in to the second round of our quarterfinals.
Here's that referee check going off as we are getting ready to go into the next round of this phenomenal and action-packed match.
Guys,
I am so excited.
Vote with your channel points. Spam the answer in chat. Who do you think is going to win? Hokies or Huskies? We've got the Virginia Tech Hokies and we've got the UW Huskies.
3,
let's go.
2, 1,
game starts. All right, Virginia Tech coming out here on the blue side, UW on the red side, just in case you needed a reminder. Virginia Tech playing much more aggressively this time, pushing up out of their base early. They think if they get the advantage, and they're going a little bit 2v1 against this Red Standard 3. Red Standard 3, obviously one of the best robots we've seen over the weekend, doing a great job in this 2v1 and getting really close to getting a double kill. It's taking out the hero. It's taking out the sentry, the standard. It's a double kill for that Red 3 standard. Oh my goodness.
He now has a distinct level advantage. One of the things that I was hoping VT would not be able to give away, because that is one of their win things. They're going to have to come back from this level deficit on one of the strongest robots we've seen in this competition, and that is that Red Standard 3 for UW, taking out another Blue Standard 3, going on to that hero, looking like he already has an attack speed buff because he is able to shoot so many balls, and that is another double kill.
Oh my
for
word.
Red Standard 3.
Nerf Red Standard 3, please. What is this? That standard just doing so much damage all across the map. It's a 1v7 here, or 1v6, whatever the equivalent of a 1v9 is. This standard from the University of Washington has the entire team on his back. Absolutely crazy. It looks like the Virginia Tech is, I can't see the numbers, but I think they went across the map and tried to do a little bit of damage to that sentry as well.
They have They are not in that much of a position to be attacking right now. They both have very low health. They're going to need to be able to go back because we know how deadly accurate that Red Standard 3 is as it takes out another Blue Standard 3 and another double kill for Red Standard 3.
Wow.
One of these robots on the VT team needs to get a kill to be able to get that level advantage. The Sentry does not appear to be able to be firing as Red Standard 3 is having free reign, taking out a ton of health from that Blue Standard on that rail. It is now down to half health from a quarter on this first part of this attack.
And
it is
now
going down to almost a quarter, and that's a
now that Red Standard 3
blow.
has all of those levels. Its projectiles fly out so fast. It's so much easier to aim as those projectiles have a much straighter path. You don't have to arc your shots. You can pretty much aim right at the Sentry and just unleash.
Red Standard 3 in a very vulnerable spot as he's now having to heal his health.
Wow, wow, wow.
We got a kill on
We
the
can see
UW
Virginia Tech
Sentry.
here pushing up on the University of Washington base, trying to make this play. They're doing a great
another
job.
two
There's a
dead
desperation
robots.
play here available to them if they can chunk through this University of Washington base in time, but they are racing against Red Standard 3, who's doing a lot of work versus this VT Sentry.
That turret now down to about a 4th health, now down to about an 8th health, and that is dropping fast with a full hopper on Red Standard 3, who is actually taking a substantial amount of damage. He's at half health. He better be careful as Blue Standard 3 is now doing a ton of damage into the back of Red Standard 3, the devastating robot that we have seen change this
Whoa.
competition. There goes that Sentry, and that is going to put VT in a very peculiar and very precarious spot because they are going to need to now play a lot more defense as that base is vulnerable and will not be shooting back.
Oh, they've put us into the cockpit of Red Standard 3 for the University of Washington. This is where every pilot wants to be, behind this beast of a machine. We'll see how it goes. Here we are in a defensive position here initially. Just sitting back. All right, here we go, Red Standard 3. This is your time to show off. Show us what you've got.
There's that spin to win tactic as it makes it very hard to hit those armor plates even while moving and also while it's in place, spinning very quickly, making those armor plates extremely hard to hit. Red Standard 3 engaging Blue Standard 3 on that buff. Both teams trying to fighting for that med pack to be able to heal their robots because that is very important. Health is a rare commodity in this battle, and it looks like Blue Standard 3 is going to be doing a ton of damage to Red Standard 3.
Blue Standard 3 is fighting back. It's a pretty good skirmish there in the middle. But again, Blue Standard 3 is just under-leveled here. It's going to be very hard for him to compete against this super-fed Red Standard 3 from the University of Washington.
Once again, both VT robots are dead to the UW robots. It looks like that Red Hero is getting into a position now to try to take that base. 45 seconds left. He has more than enough time to take out all 2,000 health from that base if he's able to line up the shots and not do... He is doing 5 damage right now because those are force sensors that are impacting, not actual electronic signals. It looks like it's going to be a bit of not a whole lot of damage from those glancing blows, and there's a
There we
200
go.
tick.
One of the hero shots comes across and registers as a 42, and the base takes a chunk of damage. With 20 seconds left, that will probably be sufficient for the University of Washington to secure this win as they continue to push forward here at the end of this match.
Both robots on the blue team being level 1, it looks like, which is going to put them in a very difficult position to be able to do a ton of damage. With the last seconds ticking down, it looks like that victory is going to go straight to UW, sending them into the finals and making VT go against A&M for the extra spot to go against UW.
That's right. Congratulations to the University of Washington. They will be going straight to the final round of the 2021 RMUL NA competition. As you said, Virginia Tech now tomorrow will be facing against Texas A&M University in our semifinal round to determine who goes to third and who plays the University of Washington for that coveted first place prize. Well, let's take a look at those University of Washington stats. These should be oh so impressive.
And
oh my word.
That damage once again, huge numbers, 25-44 total damage. That's so much
That
damage.
is almost twice as much damage as we've seen all weekend from any other team. A huge amount of damage done.
Red Standard 3, obviously the source of a lot of that damage, but then the hero moving into perfect positioning to be able to do a ton of damage to that base and also to that sentry. That is something that is
Shout out
so
to
cool
all
see.
of the wonderful people on the screen and the teams that no doubt back them up from the University of Washington. Those are just the main developers and pilots, but they are teams and teams of people and software, hardware that have backed that team up and helped them get this W. Great job from the University of Washington. I'm sure they're going to be real happy ending their evening. Not a whole lot for them to need to work on their robots. Everything seemed functional. Their hero issues seemed to be worked out that they had earlier in the day. And Virginia Tech hopefully can get that sentry online and firing for their match tomorrow versus Texas A&M.
Absolutely. Those sentries being very crucial in being able to defend themselves while also being able to move. As we saw, having a moving target is significantly harder to hit, especially with those 42mm projectiles that do so much damage. 100 damage to the sentry, 200 to the base. Getting a hero functional, which all 3 of the teams proceeding in this competition have, is going to be something that is going to be a different meta than we have seen in this entire competition.
All right, and now we have the full stats page from both teams. You can see the final health of the Sentry 0 for both of the matches on RoboGrinder. The base a little bit better defended the second match by VT, but unfortunately they were not able to land a single hit onto the Sentry of University of Washington, making this a pretty dominant win, Matt, as it was base HP and the Sentry remained untouched from the University of Washington. Guys, in the chat, go ahead, hit that follow button, hit that notifications button. We will be coming back live tomorrow for our semifinal round between Virginia Tech and Texas A&M, and the final round between the University of Washington and the victor. If you're a big VT fan like our friend NMMaster456, come back tomorrow. VT still has a chance if they can overtake A&M to play for that first place trophy against the University of Washington. I'm so excited. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. This is our last match for the evening. Matt, take us out.
Well, guys, we really appreciate all of you guys showing up. We appreciate everybody who's watching in person, everybody who's volunteering in person, all the referees, all the volunteers here, all the staff that goes largely unnoticed. But we want to say shout out, thank you guys so much for making this competition possible. This has been so much fun so far, and it is not over yet. We have the best part of the competition coming later with the semifinals and the finals tomorrow. I cannot wait to see how this game turns out and who will be taking home the NA first ever RMUL trophy for the competition. I cannot wait to see the results, and I cannot wait to see all of you guys tomorrow. Bring your friends, bring your family. It's going to be high tempo, high octane matches all the time tomorrow. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks and gig 'em, y'all.